All right, guys, today we have a 2014 Audi Q5. We're gonna service the back brakes on this car. It got electrical back brakes. So the parking brake in the back, the caliper is electric. So to do this service, first you need to command the module, the computer in the car, that you're about to do the service in the back brakes. What's gonna happen is the back caliper is gonna open up. You're gonna hear a lot of motors back here grinding, and I'm gonna show you exactly how you do that. All right, to do that, you need a scan tool. I have a Snap-on Reverse here. So I'm into the functions. I already put the year, make, and model. In the special function here, you're gonna click parking brake replacement. So once I click this, I'm gonna go back to the car, and you're gonna hear all right, so it's asking for either open or close. We're gonna open the calipers so we can put the new brake pads in there. So you click that, going back to the car. You hear that? That's the caliper opening up. There you go. Now we can service the back brakes. Alright, now we got the car up in the air. Just want to show you that this caliper, now you can compress it. Just want to open that up so you guys can see what we did worked, okay? So to do these brakes, it's just like a regular job, any other brake job. What you do is you remove the 13 back here, and then there's a 13 down here on the caliper, and then for the rotors, for the bracket, there's like a 17 millimeter down there, I believe. And you put in the new brake pads, a new rotor. Every time you do a job, make sure you put a rotor in there. So we're matching up all the parts before we go with the job any further. All right, so that's how you gotta do the brake pads. I'm not gonna go into step by step. You can watch any other video, so you get an idea that in order for you to do back brakes, you have to. There's no other way around. This is the electric module in back of the brakes. This is what applies the brakes for you when you press that little E button brake. So that's it. There you have it. All right, guys, I got the caliper out. I got the bolt here. This is 19. I made a mistake. This is a 19 that one I took out from right here. This is 19 that goes here, holds the bracket, and there's one down here that's also 19. I'm gonna take these off, then I'm gonna have this out of the way. I'm gonna compress in the caliper the rest of the way, and then I'm gonna work on the opposite side. Then I'm gonna show you guys when I'm done with everything. Also, you have to remove this little torque here to remove the rotor out. When I'm done with everything, I'm gonna put this caliper to close mode once the service is done, so you guys can see the caliper compressing back. All right, so I took out the torque here, and let me hit this with the hammer. There you go. There's his brakes. There's a shot. He told me the rotor looked good, the customer. I'm gonna show him the video too. Here's a new rotor. This hub, usually you gotta clean it, but this looks pretty clean. This car doesn't have too many mileages. It's just been sitting around. You take the torque screw right in the center that holds the rotor. All these screws got different names, but who knows what this one is called. I'm gonna grab my socket, torque bit, and put that in there. There we have it. It's nice and tight. Next, we're gonna put the bracket in there with the new brake pads. If you're watching, Mr. J, there's your brake pads. You see that? There's nothing left, and there's the rotor. So here's the new Evolution brake pads. This is the only ones I could find for this car. We take the pad. One pad go there, the other one goes there. Those are gone too. Look at that. Those are gone too. They equally worn out both sides. All right, you put one of the brake pads in there. Then I take the other brake pad. The reason you had to compress that caliper is because these are new pads. The new pads will not go in because you don't have enough clearance. And the only way to get that clearance is by compressing that caliper. Since it's electrical, so you have to command it. You don't command it, it's not gonna work. And these brakes are terrible to get in there. All right, I figured out a way to get these pads in there. So this thing goes in the front and that goes in the back. And that's how these sits. So once you get the brake pads in there, let me put the light back here so we can see. You take this, stick it in there. You take your, I made a mistake again, I'm gonna tell you. These are 18, not 19. One is bigger, one is smaller. What you said?
This is not holding.
You have to let me finish this, then I'll come over there. Let me get those wrenches. Let me finish this out, Candy, then I'll come over there. Can you give me the wrenches? So you see it's 18. Huh? Yeah. It's on, it's just screen is dimmed. I'm gonna tighten this. I gotta do one turn at a time because of my ratchet, the one I like, it hits right there. So I'm gonna just do it like this. Take me a minute or two, but I'll get her in there. So I'm gonna tighten these real good. There you go, one. Get the other one. These were super tight to come out because they had a lock thread on them. That wasn't gonna stop me from taking them out. The hard part is to get the caliper compressed. All right, we got the brake pads in there. Now we're gonna take this caliper. One more thing, let me go get my caliper compressed. It's probably back here somewhere. The lights are still on because they got the scanner hooked up. I could turn it off, but I don't feel like bringing the car back down. That's why we want to do the brakes in the back fast, and then we'll do the front ones later on. Oh, I forgot this little pin that goes here. Last thing. These are number 13. This is number 13. Where's my little ratchet? My favorite little fella. This inside is spinning, so you just hold on to it. Get a vice grip, hold it with the vice grip. But once you hold it a little bit, it grabs it. Once it grabs it, you can just keep on going. You do not stop. You do not look back. Alright, so I got this one too. I flipped the ratchet. There you go. It's done. I'm gonna do the other side, then I'm gonna come back and I am gonna show you once everything goes back together. I'm gonna put that caliper into a closed mode. Just want to show you we're done with the brakes here. We got the car on the floor. We go on the opposite side. We got the new pads and new rotors here. And now it's time for us to put the car back into its original position where the caliper was at. I just want to show you this blinking light on the parking brake, okay? And there's a signal blinking in the dash because this is into service mode. So what we're gonna do is, before we compress the caliper, we're gonna compress the caliper manually. Can you press the brake a few times? Press the brakes. It's tight. Let it go. Okay, as he let go, so I can hear the brake letting go. So I'm gonna go back to my scan tool and I'm gonna put this service mode into close. You see close? And I'm gonna walk back to the car and the caliper has closed. And the light should stop blinking inside, so it's not blinking no more, and you do not have a light in the dash. And that's it. We're gonna disconnect the scanner and come out. You can come out of the car.